let's listen in.
To the Saranac Lake Civic Center and the 2024 Ultimate Chill. These players you see tonight may not know it, but whether you play this game until high school or even the NHL, tournament weekends are some of the best experiences and memories any hockey player will ever have. And it's our job to make them as positive and as memorable as possible. So, thank you all for helping us create a positive, fun, and encouraging atmosphere here at the Civic Center all weekend as we endeavor to give our young players some of the best memories of their life. Before we drop the puck on this year's tournament, we'd like to honor someone here tonight that means a lot to everybody in the building. Even if you don't know him, chances are you will be affected by the hard work and dedication he and his family put into making this weekend happen. This man is a coach in our organization, he is a father, husband, and a very engaged community member who organizes one of the largest rugby tournaments on the planet every year right here in Saranac Lake. And he does all of those things incredibly well. He teaches his children and his players discipline, hard work, teamwork, and most importantly, the power of serving others. As a coach, father, and tournament director myself, I've been inspired by his leadership as he leads by example. He and his wife Erica have been coaching and serving Sarah Placid for 7 years now, and I know I speak on behalf of the Lakers organization when I say thank you to both of them for all they do. But, having said all that, there is an even greater reason that this man is being recognized tonight. He is an active soldier in the U.S. Army National Guard, and after the holiday, he and his team, the 152nd Engineer Support Company, are being deployed to serve our families and our nation in Africa for a year. Words cannot express that level of service and sacrifice that tonight's honoree and his family, Erica, Heath, Jacob, and Andrea, are putting forth. And so with that, I will say no more. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Sarah Placid Lakers organization, we dedicate this ultimate chill to the soldiers and families of the 152nd Engineer Support Company of the New York Army National Guard, and to our coach, Sergeant Cameron Moody. Cameron will now sing the national anthem for everybody. Just kidding, Cameron. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would all please remove your hats and stand as we play the national anthem of the United States of America. All right. Cam is going to drop the puck. Face-off later will be his son, Peter Moody, and from Tupper Lake Lumberjacks, Tupper Burnett. There you go. Thank you, Sergeant Burnett and your family. And now, let's play some hockey.
What a heartwarming tribute. A special shout out to Matt Scheller doing the announcements, the presentation, the acknowledgments. Folks around the community know very much about the Moody family. I met them for the first time when the Fifth Quarter Club reached out looking for a commentator on the high school's centennial football season. As we covered all home games on the radio, and as part of that special season, I had an opportunity to interview Cam Moody and learned he's a Boston Bruins fan. Folks, welcome once again back to the Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena, the cold sheet. Ooh, it skates so fast. As we get set for a 10U White Division, SLP Lakers and Tupper Lake Lumberjacks. This ought to be a good one to kick off the Ultimate Chill 2024. What a grand time as we pay tribute to Sergeant Moody. He'll be gone for a year. We hope to receive him back in all best of health and well-being. As the official checking the goaltenders, they're ready, you're ready. Let's play some ultimate chill hockey. As we open up first period action, we'll have 12-minute periods as this is played into the Lakers zone. In a moment, we'll get a chance to introduce you to the rosters on both sides. As Tupper Lake forcing the attack, gaining the offensive zone, played from below the net. That is one Moody in the net. I was chatting ever so briefly with Cam pregame and asked if we were expecting any special hat tricks from his son, his oldest son, Heath. He said, well, I hope not. He's a goaltender. Well, goaltenders can score, can't they? As this is played out in the far side corner. Out to the half wall on the right wing side. This will slip out to neutral ice. On this freshly glazed first period ice, it takes a minute for players to get their legs. As we've discussed ad nauseum in my studies, the 10U age class with such body mass or lack thereof, they don't cut into the ice very well, and so they slip around a lot. You may see a bunch of falling out on the ice to begin with, but once they cut this sheet up quite a bit, their legs will become a little bit more well-balanced, stabilized, and from there, the stick handling, the passing, the shooting, the receiving of passes all become just a touch more accurate. As we'll send it down to Moody's left side. 2 minutes into the first. Still no shots on goal. As we see K's out on the ice for Tupper Lake. Had a chance to talk with members of both teams' families, check on pronunciations, and everything dialed in nicely. So we head right back into the Moody zone. Folks, my name's Glenn Burnett with the play-by-play and color commentary. So good to be here. So glad you'd have me here. As usual, just another reunion with Game Capsule TV's Matt Scheller. We have spent hundreds, perhaps 1,000 games of hockey alongside one another on these productions. And as soon as he gets his hot cocoa ready, we'll welcome him to the broadcast. Nice trip. All righty, so welcome back. As we're setting up in the Tupper Lake zone, let's go ahead and introduce you to the Lumberjacks. They are Cole, Prue, Burke, Sylvia, Kays, Beam, Douye, Bell, Willette, Trudeau, Marks, Counter, Gagne, Duane, Brown, and Counter. I want to thank the parents and coaches for dialing me in on the pronunciations for the Jacks. And on the other side, the 10U white team, Heath Moody in the net. Midget, Munn, Mahaney, Nicholas, Langford, Farrell, McCormick, St. Louis, Corliss, and Colby. And that is the Sarah Placid Lakers, SLP for short. Saranac Lake and Lake Placid combined players. And we get a neutral zone face-off. We're 3.5 into this first period. Still not much happening yet as they continue to work the ice. This is played up along the left wing side as we see McCormick racing into the corner, trying to drop a pass to Farrell. Many of these players out here are siblings of players that are in older age groups that we have seen come across our desk. Here's a shot across the low slot out towards the far side corner. Played from the half wall by Mahaney. Now working out across the neutral zone. Still slick out there, as you can see that puck not behaving very nicely. So we get an icing, and we'll get a face-off back in the Jack zone. Still no score.
So I have to, I'll swing that.
As we get a look down in the net. That's Duane in between the pipes. And now deep in the Lakers zone. Played out towards the point and now to the near side half wall. That's Bean with a shot attempt from the right side. Played out towards the left point. As the Jacks trying to hold up the offensive zone, the Lakers able to bust out. Langford trailing behind Midget. Played out through the face-off circle to the near side. And now working from the left side. This is Munn. Munn with a shot. Rebound out to the weak side. Turnaround shot. Midget has that one knocked away. Played out to the far side half wall. And out of the corner. It'll be sent out by Bean. And you hear the collective whoa from the crowd. As that one came dangerously close. I want to double check this here. We call it Duane and net, but that does not appear to match up, and we'll double check that for you as soon as we get that information. Down to 5:32 remaining first period action as this one skips the blue line, and we got a penalty coming. A little trip there ahead of what would have been a breakaway. Well, that's a very obvious place to get a trip called. When you get a chance, Matt, I'm trying to get the name off of the goaltender for the Jacks. He's not on the list with the same number. So we set up a face-off to Moody's right side. Moody crouched down quite low. As we see Mahaney out on the ice for the Lakers. Prue. It's Prue. It's Prue. He's listed as 35. And now here's a broken play by Munn coming up on the left wing side. Tossed out towards the far side, and you can still see a little bit of trouble with the footwork on these smaller players. Something you'll get used to as they continue to grow, continue to load up the body mass. Their skates will cut more into the ice. It'll be easier for them to make their turns, easier to accelerate, easier to carve this sheet up. And now racing up on the left side is Colby, trying to get down in time as we see Counter send it around to the far side half wall. Played from behind the net. That's Counter behind the net as that comes around to the left wing side. Langford with a centering play out to Mahaney. Mahaney could not connect with it. And now the Jacks stuck in their own zone. This is Mahaney with pressure on the puck. Gaining an advantage down into the corner. Lakers trying to hold up deep in the offensive zone. Here's a play out in front. And Prue in the net for the Lakers. Check that for the Jacks. Doing a fine job of remaining composed in the net. As this one gets past Bell, and now working on the right wing side. Deflected across behind Farrell, as Farrell gets another try at it. Played out towards the far side, and out to the half wall. This is drawn out by Willett. Out to the neutral zone. Almost an offsides there, but the Lakers able to avoid it. Played out towards the left wing side. Here's a wrister wide of the net as that one crosses out in front of Midget. Played from the half wall up towards the point. This one is hard to hold as McCormick lost the handle just on the opposite side of the blue stripe. That'll be offsides. And with 3 minutes remaining first period action, we'll have a neutral zone face-off on the far side dot just outside the Jack zone.
Mavericks, Nav.
You got to give it up to this Tupper Lake crew as the families and communities out in Tupper Lake have been scrambling, trying to get something worked out to help shore up their own Civic Center arena. And while I don't know the very details of the story, as Prue comes up with a big save here, Tupper Lake is looking for some support so that they can get some maintenance solutions over at the arena, and that's probably an understatement. Just remember, you're on a hot mic. Not yours, but my feed into you is. Yeah. This is played out towards the right point. 2:20 remaining in the period. I've called several games over at the Tupper Lake facility when the Paul Smith College Bobcats hockey teams have played there, and it is equally as cold. I don't think there is a colder sheet around. And I've covered a lot of arenas throughout the Northeast region as this is played in on Prue, and Prue with the paddle save. Inside of 2 minutes remaining, first period action. We're still scoreless. I don't expect that's going to last for too long as that puck has been finding its way into the funnel quite a bit. And as it stands, despite having yielded their own zone early in the first period, the Lakers have been in the offensive zone quite regularly on the tail end of the period. And it seems just a matter of time before the ice breaks here, with 84 seconds remaining. Temperature in the Civic Center arena, frigid. It might be into the teens right now outside, and as the temperature cools outside, so does the temperature in this cold barn. Played out to the left side. Now Tupper Lake trying to set up an offensive attack. As we see Sylvia racing off to the bench, ending her shift. Here's a wrister on Prue. Prue comes up with a big save. This is Nicholas. What's up, Matt? Good call. And so off of the face-off into the attacking zone once again. St. Louis out on the ice for the Lakers. As we see Douillet out on the ice. That is a familiar family name out of Tupper Lake. This is played up towards the left point and flashed back down to the low end. That's Bell up ahead to Douillet. And now breaking up the play as this is sustained to the buzzer. And so that'll close out first period action. At the end of one period of play, we are scoreless. The ice has yet to break, and I need that ice to break because it is so cold in here. At the end of one, scoreless here at Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena as you are enjoying Game 1, the inaugural game, the tribute game to Cam Moody, the ultimate chill on Game Capsule TV. We'll see you in the next period. All right, well, give a shout out to our camera operator, Mav Scheller, as he is standing in. Kind of like the emergency goaltenders in the NHL, except he doesn't get any warm-up time. Here's a shot on net as Prue comes up with a stop. As we open up second period play, we welcome you in a tribute to Doc Emmerich, retired NHL commentator, not goaltender. Commentator, we say welcome to the second period, the period of the log change, as goaltenders trade nets, putting them in the defensive zones they guard on the opposite end of the ice from their benches. This makes defensive on-the-fly substitutions difficult. Key takeaway in this period is get out of the defensive zone and into the offensive zone early and often. Apply pressure to the opposing defense. See if you can fatigue them, find them flat-footed, out of position, perhaps pulling penalties. And most of all, you want to get shots on net and pucks in the bucket. Speaking of pucks in the bucket, none. We have none of them. As we see Kays and Brown out on the ice for the Lumberjacks. As this is played into the far side corner. Now it might be that this ice is tilted in the direction towards the scoreboard. This zone was heavily occupied by the Lakers for a good share of the tail end of the first period. And now we see the puck tilting its way into that end. We'll see if the Lakers can turn things around as this is sent down for icing. As we see counter out on the ice for the Jacks, we'll see some substitutions. Marks heading off to the bench. Kays taking a breather. You don't have to duck, you're all good. I'll work around you. Up at the point on the left side for the Jacks, that's counter. As this is played from the top of the slot. Deflected out to the far side corner. That's Colby behind the net. Under pressure. Plays it around to the half wall. Counter, pitching down. Gets a shot out towards the low slot. Counter once again forcing it down low. Now some of the key elements at this 10U age class. Have fun. Have fun. Now I cover a multitude of age classes, and there's your icebreaker. Shot down the slot as this one makes it past Prue, and the Lakers serve one up. We had seen that they were starting to apply more pressure, spent more time in the offensive zone at the end of the first period, and breaking through as the Lakers go up 1-0. One of the key components that we see in various ages, and we work from 10U all the way on up into college age, even on up to retired players, gold medalists in the Miracle on Ice Fantasy Camp. Here's an opportunity out in front, and this shot eased away by Moody, as Moody is on high alert right now as things start to ramp up. This will go down for icing once again. And we mentioned counter up at the point. There's another counter out there, Phoenix and Lincoln. Lincoln's number 40, Phoenix number 20. As we see Sylvia out on the left wing side, facing off is Bean for the Jacks, as this is played around by Farrell. Played out across neutral ice. Just 2.5 minutes into the second period, this long change period. It's a 1-goal game. We're expecting to have a lot of fun this weekend. We're going to have sort of sprint round robins on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. Different format, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Right now, we're still working on game 1, the ultimate chill. This is played deeply in the zone. It'll be tracked down by Bean. Bean working under pressure. Throws it around towards the far side. That's Duame from the half wall. Broken up by Corliss. And that got a little touch and go for a moment there. It looked like some folks were a little bit concerned that McCormick was drawing perhaps a little too deeply into the defensive zone. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you need to spread out the ice, and if you got to drop back into your defensive zone to start opening up passing lanes, so be it. And of course, a lot of the stuff happening out on the ice is by feel for these skaters at this age class, where the emphasis anywhere between this 10U and 12U will be on having fun. Of course, you want to learn some skill sets, skating in particular. That comes first. You got to get your feet under you before you can do anything else with the hands. And this is covered up by Prue. Prue's been pretty steady in net. As we'll set up a face-off to the young Tendies left side. Stepping in for the face-off for the Lakers is Munn. Off the face-off to the near side half wall. You see Douillet out on the ice for the Jacks. Now played up on the left side. This is Marks. Marks looking for an attack here. Gets a shot off wide of the net. Close call there from Moody as he dove out. That one came hard off of the end wall, and you don't want to find yourself outside the frame when that puck rebounds off the end wall. I have seen goals deflected in, and here's a big goal number 2 for the Lakers, as that one is rebounded in by Midget. Prue had made the initial stop, and the puck, escaping Prue's grasp, slides out in front and gets tucked in. Are we getting an announcement? Now coming in looking for a little bit more. This is St. Louis from the left wing side. That's a familiar number, that number 16 in the St. Louis family, as this is played to the near side half wall. Here's Douillet. Works it to the blue stripe, but couldn't get it across the line. And the zone is held up by the Lakers. You see Mahaney out on the ice on the left wing side as that one goes right by, down to the end wall. Played from the near side corner and to the half wall and towards the blue line, as this is drawn out by McCormick. McCormick waiting for the tag up. Now here's Mahaney. Mahaney with a shot, paddled stop by Prue. And so we'll get a face-off to Prue's right side as we get some line changes ahead of the face-off. 6:55 remaining in the long change period. Lakers in blue, leading 2-0, trying to add to that lead. The teams in this tournament looking to rack up wins, try to find themselves up at the top of the rankings. We'll have a fun playoff as well on Saturday, which will determine our championship qualifying teams. As this is played across neutral ice on the left wing side. Heavy pressure by Kays, and Kays able to break down the attack. We see Gagne out there for the Jacks. And here's a stop by Prue. And when you look across the ice there at any of the players, let's take a look at the Jacks there. You see skaters like Gagne, much smaller. What's that? And so Gagne being one of the smaller players for the Jacks, you'll notice not as much body mass. And in time, particularly when you get to skate with bigger players, you start to figure a way to successfully skate as this shot goes just inches wide of the cage. Close call for the Jacks. Still within reach here. They are only 2 possessions away as this is Willett. Willett forced out towards the half wall. Centering pass into the middle as we see Kays set up in the middle. Out towards the far side corner. Saucered up towards the blue line as this is grabbed by St. Louis. St. Louis working it up on the left wing side. Towards the half wall, now veering in towards the net as that one is tossed away by Prue. Now worked out into the Lakers zone. Tossed around by Mahaney out towards the far side corner. And Munn trying to work it away from Burke. Burke sprawled out on the ice. Hard to get that puck around him. Now this is played into the slot. That's Lincoln counter out there, number 40. Able to steer it clear. Counter providing protection in the slot area. And we don't really talk about formations in this age class. We don't talk about a 1-3-1, 2-2-1, a 1-1-2, a 2-2-2. Oh, that's not 2-2-2 as this one goes in. A wrist shot from Munn. Long distance as that one skips in. A short hop. And Lakers up 3-0. 4:22 remaining, second period action. Once again, Glenn Burnett with the play-by-play and color commentary. Reconnecting with my production teammate, Matt Scheller, who's running the video production here this weekend. As we have spent many, many games together. Not only paired up as camera and commentary, but just on the production team in general. Over 1,000 games worked together since November 2018. And now the Jacks looking for the attacking zone. This is played along the near side. Send out across in front of Moody. Moody with a nice paddle. Eases it out towards the far side corner. 4 minutes remaining, second period action. Looking forward to a fun weekend throughout this late December tournament. As this is December 19, we'll have 20, 21, and 22 to close out the tournament. As we see Sylvia out on the ice once again. Stepping in for the face-off is Marks for Lumberjacks. On the backside, we see counter once again. That's Lincoln. Played out away from Farrell, and now a deflection. This is a good one for St. Louis as he's able to run it up into the offensive zone, chasing down to the end wall. And again, footwork is a lot here as we see Farrell with a shot just wide of the net. Really does kind of make someone want to put skates on and cut some turns. As this is played off the sidewall. Douillet trying to get the exit. Marks out on the ice for the Jacks. As this is played to a deflection off of counter out to the far side corner, and the Jacks trying to escape the defensive zone. 2:40 remaining, second period action. Lakers in blue leading 3-0, and here's an opportunity as Marks works in one-on-one with Moody. Shot and a goal, and the Lumberjacks able to put one up on the board. And that will energize this Tupper Lake team, as we know how much this second period has a tendency to break the backs or put players over a barrel. It can be very difficult to overcome the fatigue that occurs in this second period. Tupper Lake on the board. That was fun as we saw Brown getting lined up for the faceoff. Willett in the center of the front line with line mate Gagne out on the ice. And here's one for the basket as Prue just out of position slightly. Didn't know there was enough angle on the weak side. And the Lakers very quickly come back with 2:20 remaining second period action, and it's back to a 3-goal game. And now we have what we can call on the edge of a barn burner. Now, if only it would warm up the place, as this is played into the corner. Out towards the far side. Langford working from the half wall, loses an edge, trying to stay in the play. This is worked from the top of the slot all the way down as Moody trying to clear it away. Played from the half wall on the near side. From the right wing side to the circle. Shot out in front. A nice try there as McCormick was feeding it inside to Midget. Midget could not get that past Prue. And a strong play for Tupper Lake. And now we have Bean in opposite St. Louis on the faceoff. St. Louis with a shot. Cleared out towards the far side half wall. Played into the middle zone. Here's Bean veering out towards the left side with a wrister to the weak side, and Tupper Lake puts another one in the basket as Bean picks out the weak side. Beautiful wrister from the left circle. And a good response there as now Tupper Lake has multiple goals on the scoreboard with 1:15 remaining second period action and looking to cut into this deficit just a little more. You can see a lot stronger skating now as we get deeper into this game. Less glaze across the surface of this ice. Now even the lighter skaters with as much scuffing of the ice can skate with a little bit more assurance as this is poked away from Kays. Played around to the near side. Sent back down by Lincoln counter. Played out to neutral ice. Counter. Trying to go to the backhand. So this is taken away by Mahaney. Mahaney goes wide, sends it down towards the end wall. Down to 25 seconds remaining in the period. And now an opportunity with a 2-on-1 shaping up. This is Bean back over to the same spot. Shot in, and Moody ramps it off of the paddle and into the glove. And with 14.3 seconds remaining in the period, SLP with a 4-2 lead. This is game 1 of the Ultimate Chill Weekend. As we see Bean stepping in for the face-off for Tupper Lake. Setting up to just set one straight on net. Couldn't win the face-off. Now working in through the middle. Played from the half wall, and that'll do it for 2 periods of play. As things get a little bit hotter here. Closing out second period action at the Ultimate Chill. A few more goals as Saranac Lake adds more to the tally, and Tupper Lake gets up on the board twice late in the period, cutting the deficit in half. 4-2 Saranac Lake as we get set to break away for third period action. We'll step outside, rotate the tires. When we come back, Jonathan will teach you how to build a floating bookshelf. From alongside the Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena, the Cold Sheet in Saranac Lake, New York, you're watching The Ultimate Chill on Game Capsule TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. As we open up final period play, 12 minutes left in regulation in a 4-2 game. Skating in the dark blue with the red and white trim, the SLP Lakers. And in the white, with the red and black trim. From right down the road, Tupper Lake, Lumberjacks, or as they call them, the Jacks. As we'll set up a face-off at the center dot. These two teams, along with Middlebury and Potsdam, are skating in the Moody division, so-called for Cam Moody. And then we got a bunch of other teams coming to town that will compete in the blue division, which is called the National Guard division. Both divisions set up as a tribute to Cam Moody, a sergeant who will be headed out of the country for a year to serve his country. And we wish him the best of health and well-being. We wish the community here the same, as they will be missing Cam. He's been an integral part of the community. He's been coaching in various sports. I think maybe Scheller might have shed a tear somewhere. Did you get choked up there for a minute? Seemed like it. I thought on the microphone you were going to break down and say, "Don't go." Just having a little bit of fun here, folks. Yeah. And the community. Yeah, a whole lot of people who are used to it. We're just talking behind the scenes here. As Matt's been a part of this community for a long, long time. And his son has also been in this community. Son skates for the SLP Lakers in an older age group. As this is played up on the right wing side. This is Munn veering straight towards the net. As that's eased away into the corner. When I first met Cam Moody as part of the high school's football centennial season, covering the commentary for their home games here in Saranac Lake, I had a chance to talk to him about his involvement in football and coaching, and so many of the people that I met during that centennial season were coaches and also played many moons ago And in this area with the smaller population, we play a modified brand of football, which means that you're playing both sides of the ball. That's a lot of hard work. And of course, the fellas and ladies in Saranac Lake, they know what Hardy is. They know that it doesn't come easily here. You got to work for whatever it is you want, even if you want to stay warm in the cold. We're going to hit single digits. We might even go sub-zero sometime this weekend. So I advise, even if you're alongside a sheet indoors, have your gloves ready. Put a hat on. And if it helps, put up a hat trick. As we set up a face-off to Moody's right side, we see Bean back out there. Bean has provided some offensive support as this is deflected out to neutral ice. Both teams remaining very composed out there as we get an offsides. 3 minutes into the third period, we'll get a neutral zone face-off on the near side. Well, let's call it the other near side. The far side dot, just outside of the Lakers zone. And now busting through. Who could it be? St. Louis leading the charge as that one gets rejected. Application denied, sent out to the neutral zone. And now we get an offsides once again. As we get a look at the big board, 4-2, as Tupper Lake, with a couple of goals in the second period, getting themselves vitalized, proving that they can put one in the basket. After they hit their first one, not but maybe a minute later, Saranac Lake was able to score. And so that sort of neutralized the Tupper Lake goal, but not entirely, because once a team has a puck in the basket, they know it's possible, and they turn things up a little bit. The motivation goes up, the vitality goes up, the excitement, the fun. And towards the end of that second period, Tupper Lake was able to get a second one. Here's a shot past Prue, and SLP picks one up on a wrister from St. Louis. And it's back to a 3-goal game with exactly 8 minutes remaining in regulation. This is worked away by the Jacks, breaking out of the defensive zone, and now an opportunity working out by Marks. Marks with a shot, rebound, and a close call there. Well, note to Nicholas, maybe Moody doesn't want that puck tossed so hard back to him for him to grab it. Of course, we've seen this before. It is no surprise to see a defender try to hand the puck off to his goaltender to make it easier for the goaltender to cover it up. But that one was at short range and would take very delicate reflex to not let it get into the net. Close call there for SLP. As this is played out and back into the zone. So we'll set up on the near side dot just outside the SLP zone. As we see Willett out on the ice. Played out across neutral ice, and here's an opportunity as Willett working up through the slot. One-on-one with Moody, and Willett to the back of the cage. And Tupper Lake cuts it down to within 2. And indeed, we have a barn burner shaped up here with 7:08 remaining in regulation. And shiver me timbers. You see Sylvia up on the right wing side. Easy to spot. Smart move with the pink helmet. Especially for the families. They want to be able to spot their daughter out there skating around. Well, you can't miss her. Now, if the Jacks can get one more in the basket, things become very tense then. If you've ever been a competitor in a game where a team is coming from behind and they get it down to 1 goal differential, you know that it becomes a little bit nervous, anxious, intense, and even sometimes desperate. We haven't seen any kind of penalties so far, as both of these teams seem well composed. This is Bell from behind his own net. Played out to the corner. Up ahead to Douillet. Douillet gets it out to Sylvia. Sylvia sends that over to the sidewall. As we see Colby out on the ice for the Lakers. Shot in on net, and Prue comes up with the stop and the whistle. As we hit the midsection of the third, 5:54 remaining, third period action. 5-3 favoring the home SLP Lakers. Now bear in mind, the SLP Lakers are a hybrid team comprised of players from Saranac Lake and Lake Placid. And so, to some extent, they're home. They're kind of like at their hybrid home. As this SLP Lakers organization also uses the Lake Placid Olympic Center for some of their game schedules. Played out towards the mid slot. And carried up along the near side wall. As Colby sends it back down. And now forced out to neutral ice. This is all Tupper Lake needs, is a good strong push. And we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off at the center dot. Played out on the far side wall. And out to the near side. Here's an opportunity as Kays gets it across the line. Played back up ahead. And this is Marks. Marks, the off-wing position, backhands it out in front to Moody, and Moody dives out and gains the whistle. So we set up a face-off to Moody's right side. You notice how much better all of the skating is collectively across both teams. And this is part of what explains the added goals as we progress through the second and into the third period. As this is worked up through the middle. Little log shot wide of the net as that comes hard off the end wall, and Prue loses an edge down in the crease. Able to scramble back to his feet in time. No damage done. Played from the half wall. Surveying, looking for options. This is tossed up towards the point. Broken out. That one's stolen away from Langford. As we see Corliss out on the ice. Corliss dropping back into defensive position. Here's a wrister. And Moody able to keep that one outside the cage. We see Trudeau out on the ice for the Jacks. As we get a look in at the big board, 3:37 remaining in regulation. 8 total goals scored here. And a 2-goal deficit for the Jacks. Lakers could get a little bit more breathing room as this is St. Louis. The speedy skater working the right wing side. Shot out across the crease. No doubt St. Louis has some experience skating with some of the older players. It would take a lot of repetitions to get yourself into a position to skate as well. For some, it comes naturally, but some, it takes a lot of practice. As this is chased down by Colby. Sent out across neutral ice. Flung back down. Inside of 3 minutes remaining in regulation in this, our first game of the Ultimate Chill Tournament weekend. And now with an opportunity, as this is worked on the right side, shot towards the glove side, wide of the net. Had an opportunity up there. As we see Willett pressuring around the side of the net, goes to the backhand, and that'll be whistled dead. As we see Willett and Douillet hanging back as they're going to come out towards the bench, and it looks like Willett will stay out. Marks out on the ice for the Jacks, as well as Bean. And on the back end, we see Phoenix counter on the left point. And up top on the right is Bell.
He's got 3 things to say. God bless our troops.
Played from the end wall.
God bless America and gentlemen.
Tripped up in the corner. Here's Bean. Bean picking through a bunch of sticks. As this comes out across to Marks. And now racing up ahead, this is Munn. Munn working through the middle as this is swatted free. Played a little higher in the slot. And now the Jacks on the rush. This is Marks working up on the right wing side. Marks trailed behind with a shot off the side of the cage. Played from behind the net. As Marks continues to pressure. Played up towards the point as this is saved by Bell. With 87 seconds remaining in regulation. Down by 2, the Jacks trying to close the gap here. As we see Willett catch a little bit of a shove by McCormick. And that's going to be an interference call. That's our first infraction of the game with 75 seconds remaining. And sometimes that's how it goes. You take a late penalty, and if you can kill it off, you should be fine. Right now, Tupper Lake taking a timeout. As McCormick goes to the box for a minute. 74 seconds left in regulation. SLP trying to hold on for the victory on this special evening, honoring Cam Moody, Sergeant Cam Moody. And we'll get to hear a little bit more about this special weekend throughout. We'll be back here for a little bit more intensive work on Saturday. That's going to be fun. Kind of like a sprint round robin type of setup in the format on Saturday. It's been a fun hockey season thus far. This is week, 10 for me since mid-October. That's an empty net, folks. 6 attackers on the ice for Tupper Lake. As they wait for the tag up, that's sent in too soon. And Tupper Lake lucks out as they don't get that face-off back in their own zone. 66 seconds remaining. It's a 6-on-4 right now. McCormick in the box for interference. Willett on the right. Bean in the middle. Marks on the left. Kays out on the ice as the 6th. And then 2 on the backside. Loose puck out in front as this one's just inches wide. Here's Kay, centering pass out in front as that's knocked wobbling out towards the end wall. Played to the side doorstep as Bean tries to force it down low. Lakers just need to clear the zone first. Makes it very difficult to tag up when you have 6 attackers. As they enter just a little bit too soon. With 34.9 remaining in regulation, we'll have a near side face-off in the neutral zone, just outside the Lakers' end. Once again, Bean staying out there. Marks on the left, Willett on the right. Kays up front as well. Bell will chase it down. As will counter as that goes down for icing. 26.2 seconds remaining. 5-3. Skating in the dark sweaters. That's SLP Lakers. They're leading. And see the coaches over on the Lakers side. That's Erica Moody as well. Her husband will be out of the area, out of the country for a year. As this is Bean shot down wide of the net. 19 seconds remaining. As Kay sends it around to the near side. Chased into the corner. Played to the near side. And now with 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Lakers take the victory as they celebrate with the young goaltender, Heath Moody, keeping things well swept enough in net to hold on to a victory. And the Lakers take a win in Game 1 of this Ultimate Chill tournament weekend. As both teams gather at the center stripe to exchange goodwill on the handshake line, we say good game, good game. Yes, indeed. Safe travels, good meals, and good luck. What a great day to be a hockey player. What a great day to play hockey. And so that closes out Game 1. As we get one last look in at the Lakers bench, Cam Moody, Erica Moody. Such an integral part of this community, not just in Saranac Lake, but also in the Tri-Lakes region. The Moodys have been quite the supporters of all of the athletics and all of the other community events in the area, and supporting by way of their 5th Quarter Club as well. From alongside the Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena, the Cold Sheet, Saranac Lake, New York. My name's Glenn Burnett with a play-by-play and color commentary. We'll be back on Saturday as we welcome the Ultimate Chill back into Saranac Lake. I want to say special shout out to Matt Scheller, Mavs Scheller, and the rest of the facilities folks here at Saranac Lake Civic Center Arena. We'll catch you on the next one.